The Geek and I podcast. Please subscribe.
Ed Gein was a kind of meek, unremarkable man. There's something eerie about that.
Gein was digging up bodies, but what he did with the body parts is extraordinary. Gein was so enmeshed with his mother that he wanted to become his mother.
Ed Gein had inspired Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ed Gein was Norman Bates, and Norman Bates was Ed Gein.
What he was like as a person was extremely unique. You see in his house, too, it's an exteriorization of his own mind.
What did you intend to do with her body?
What parts would you take home?
Who helped you when you got him out of the graves?
Would you enjoy it while you were doing it?
I really didn't think.
Mr. 7 years. What kind of a man did you know him as?
Well, he's a nice man, just like anybody else. The only difference I'd say in the man, he seems to be a little hot.
Wow. So he was actually like all three serial killers?
He definitely inspired them. And when you go back and look at some of these films or even articles written at the time, they clearly acknowledge that he was a total influence on it. And there have been countless other movies that are almost a note for note telling of that story. One from 1974 is a film called Deranged. And the actor's name is escaping me now, but he played the old man in Home Alone.
Okay.
Yeah, played the Ed Gein character. And actually, there was a movie a couple of years ago with Steve Railsback called Ed Gein, which is actually a pretty good flick. And I won't say it's 100% accurate, but it's very close. And the casting was excellent too. A lot of the people in the story, if you've watched any of these documentaries, really resemble the people that Ed was involved with and sadly took their lives. So, and I'd even say parts of Hannibal Lecter were probably inspired by him.
I'm not sure he ate anybody though. I think he just liked taking their skin off and wearing it.
Yeah, which Hannibal Lecter did do at one point. When he cut the face off the guard and put it on to escape. Yeah, you got to remember before this all happened, this was the mid-50s, law enforcement had never come across anything like this before. Not to this extent. And what's amazing is after he was captured and after he was found insane, he spent the rest of his life in an insane asylum where he was considered a model patient. And I don't think they ever really kind of locked into what they know why the psychosis happened, but they don't know how he got so far away, how he got so broken, which is really, I think, the tragedy of this. So you have a human being who resorts to these kind of actions that any rational person could not even begin to fathom. And, he kind of brought the thought that the possibility of this kind of person could be out there into the American psyche. And I think he launched, in a lot of ways, the next great kind of horror suspense industry as far as Hollywood goes. Remember, previous to this, a lot of the horror movies were Frankenstein and Dracula and the Gill Man. And now suddenly we had real life monsters who could be your neighbor next door. And honestly, it's because of the Ed Gein story.
So according to Wikipedia, he is known as the Butcher of Plainfield, or the Plainfield Ghoul, from Plainfield, Wisconsin. And his early childhood, he said that he attended school, left the house and attended school. He spent most of his time doing chores on the farm. He was shy, and classmates and teachers remembered him as having strange mannerisms, such as seemingly random laughter. That's usually somebody just breaks out laughing for no reason. That's usually a good sign.
I think they call it pseudo-bulbar effect, where you laugh at inappropriate times or suddenly burst out crying. He did have a tough childhood.